I would like to document something that I've observed that is remarkable. It's along the lines of what we've been dealing with for years, but the scale of this is just surprising. We've got a video from Sky News. Russia blames the Ukraine war on NATO alliance, and it goes through what it's like to be a Russian in this war, but it obviously puts the spin on it because it has to be presented to the West. So we're presenting to the West what the Russian presentation of the war is to Russians, and it's funny to watch all the contortions and the spin. It's extreme. And then when you go to the comments, you see the usual useful idiot bootlickers that just take whatever gets fed to them, that just believe everything that they're told. And it gets a lot of upvotes and it gets a lot of comments. So when you go to top comments, you see 365, 220, 270, and you see dozens of replies on all of these. So these comments are all getting responses. It is instigating conversation. But when you see 31 replies here and fold it out, you will not have 31 replies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Only 17 replies are visible, but it says there's 31, so that means that nearly half of the comments in response to this thing are not even showing up. And I think this just might be a glitch of a system so hastily implemented or ramped up, because you wouldn't want to censor things and then let people know that there's been censorship like this. And then let's try this one, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's a third, 33% missing here. And then on this one, it's like 40 to 50%, nearly half. So it's like between a third and a half of all the comments people are leaving on these conversations are not even showing up. And I've noticed this discrepancy before. Like, see this discrepancy when you see the total replies and you actually count up the replies. It does account for some of the times where your comments are mysteriously just shadow banned or hidden away, but I've never seen it be so extreme. Usually it's only a discrepancy of like 1 or 2 in a massive chain, but in this case it's like a third or a half of all responses. And let's have a look at one of these. So I've actually responded to one of these 18 hours ago. I've responded to this one. Russia blaming others for a war it started is peak comedy. And obviously I knew about the existence of the country of Ukraine before 2 months ago, so this is a laughable thing to say to me. Really naive, really gormless. So I responded with, this war started 8 years ago and it resulted from US foreign policy that your CIA director Bill Burns warned about back in 2008. You just didn't care about it during any of those 8 years because you didn't have your news telling you what to think with enough insistence. And that's what this all is. The mental state of everyone in the West with regards to this conflict is entirely a consequence of what gets shown to them on TV or internet. You stare at screens to know what to think about this. There's a narrative that is controlled to have you arrive at the conclusions that you've got. And that's exactly what's happened here. People don't think about it that way. They just see it on the news that they've been looking at their entire lives and they just do what they've always done. Which is why so much effort and money and time and thought gets put into controlling all of these outlets. So I responded with this, and as you can see, there's not a single swear word, there's not a single anything. I didn't say shit, piss, fuck, cunt, cocksucker, motherfucker, tits, fart, tor, twat. None of those are in this. And there aren't even any really contentious phrases. It just says US foreign policy, CIA director Bill Burns. Like, these are the only buzzwords that could trip some sort of a algorithm. But nonetheless, if I switched to a different account, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and there's one missing. So let's scroll down and look at it again. It says 8 there, look, so it doesn't even have consistent numbers of replies being shown. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So even this has different ways that it displays it. See how bizarre this is? When I'm on this account, it tries to conceal my own censorship from me by adding 1 onto the number of replies, and then it shows me my comment that no one else sees, which is disgusting enough. The fact that it will actually do this, and it's funny how it implements every kind of system. There are filters where it just deletes your comment completely, and you don't see it, no one else sees it. That's it telling you that your comment's been deleted, it's been purged. But it tries to let you it lets you think that your comment still exists when it doesn't, and it's fucking obvious when you look at the fact that I should have like 10 or 20 upvotes on this, but I've got none. It's just the original comment that everyone lazily upvotes without thinking, and then they don't even click to look at the replies, so these only have 7, 2, 2, 2, 3, but everyone that clicked to reply would have clicked upvote on this, because that's what people would have been looking for. They would have clicked to see the replies and see what pushback this got, and I did give pushback against this, but no one sees it because it got held, even though it contained no profanity or anything objectionable. It still tripped the algorithm and held it, and then when you look at all other ones, they're all likewise just filtered to shit, censored to fuck. So this is a completely worthless comment section where all of the interactions are doctored. None of these are authentic conversations that are happening between people on a forum. None of this whatsoever. These are all bullshit conversations. You leave a platitude that's completely uninsightful and brain dead. People dump hundreds of upvotes on it. People reply to it. Only the ones that just go along with it get any visibility, and anyone that pushes back against it gets censored. And it's just like that all over the place here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's a third. 62. Wow, I'm tempted to count this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43. So a quarter, more than a quarter of the responses to this are gone. Like 15 or 20 people's replies have been fucking filtered, and you can actually count to see how many have been. So it's like a quarter, a third, a half, up to a half of all conversations are completely doctored away, just censored, so they have no visibility. But it's funny how there's this oversight where it lets you calculate that. Man. See, for such a big thing in culture, YouTube, where there actually is a lot of influence from it on the public and on the conversations, they don't really cover their tracks very well at all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So one of these were held to 126. Oh man, you could do this for all of them. You could actually just figure out what percentage of the comments on these threads are just not allowed to show up. People talking about Gaddafi. Gaddafi was a dictator who had already attacked NATO. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 out of 14. So they're controlling conversations. You can't have actual conversations. You don't even have to say anything profane or outrageous, and you still get censored. So, yeah, this is... it's ludicrous how bad this is getting. Free press, my ass. Freedom of speech, my ass. Free speech, my ass. Democracy, liberty, First Amendment, fucking bullshit.